I am standing here a traveller from a new reality, a burning Australia, where amidst the endless falling ash, the thing that is clearest to see is that what was feared and what was warned is no longer in our future a topic for debate. It is here. We have seen the unfolding wings of climate change.
Almost all of the fires are out in Australia. The rest are contained.
Total devastation.
But the recovery is just beginning. 27 million acres of damage, and the concern for the future grows.
How does it make you feel to look out and see this and think that this is yours, this is your property,
Well,
we're standing on your...
I've been thinking to myself, I'm a bushfire victim, Angie, but after a while, I started to get a realisation a couple of days ago. I thought, no, I'm not. I'm a victim of climate change. And I really believe that, because things are just getting out of hand.
Michael Green is a resident of Dargan, a city in the iconic Blue Mountains here. He lost his home of 22 years to the massive blazes last month.
I think we have to really start looking at what we're doing. The world needs a wake-up call. There's definitely something happening, and I don't care if people deny it. They say there's no climate change. But, there's too much happening. In too many places, too many records being broken.
It's not close to home in America. Why should they care, seeing what you guys are going through?
I would say to them is that don't think it can't happen to you, no matter where you are. Sooner or later, it's going to affect us all, if it keeps going the way it's going.
And to face what this new reality brings, we need leaders to match this moment. To lead is to guide, to have a vision for the way ahead. That is impossible if you deny where we are heading.
You have to wonder, where's the tipping point when the average person...
We're past it. We're past the tipping point. It doesn't get any bigger wake-up call than this.
As more and more Australians agree on the problem, finding solutions won't be easy.
There are things we can do, and they're not going to be cheap.
It's fairly clear, if we want to avert catastrophic warming of the planet, we need to bring our carbon emissions down dramatically over the next 10 years. We can't wait.
And action looks like what?
Action means getting off fossil fuels, politicians, our policymakers, making sure there are incentives for people to engage in carbon-friendly behaviors.
We need to have ambitious targets for reducing carbon emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions. This is the only viable long-term strategy for protecting our planet and protecting public health.
There's a worthy debate to be had about how we do this, but we need a price on carbon so that we incentivize this massive shift that we need away from our reliance on fossil fuels towards clean, renewable energy.
What we also have an abundance of is a lot of wind and a lot of sunshine. So we could actually be a renewable superpower in Australia.
The exciting thing about that is that it creates enormous opportunities for employment, for growth, for new industries. And that's the new economy. We need to leave the old economy behind, because look where it's got us.
Addressing climate change is equal parts mitigation and adaptation. Australia has already warmed by 1 degree. More warming is already locked in, but just how much is uncertain.
The future is not good, and I hate to think what Australia and large parts of the rest of the world will be like with another 4 to 6 degrees of extra temperature. That will make significant parts of the globe unlivable for the vast majority of people.
Particularly in Australia, we've had the bushfires that have been coupled with really bad smoke. Can people go to work? Can the postal service run? We really will have to reconsider, anything and everything, but we will see more of them, and I think that's the scary thing. If we see fires of this ferocity occur more often, we probably won't have time to adapt.
As Australia faces the reality of a reoccurrence of these extreme fires, Florida will soon brace for the reality of a new hurricane season. Recent storms so record-breaking that researchers are considering adding an unprecedented Category 6.
No one is going to escape these effects.
We need to make sure we reduce carbon pollution and adapt our communities, invest in the infrastructure that we need if we're going to continue living in parts of the country like Miami.
But economics are at play here too. Will Florida and the rest of the country accept a move away from fossil fuels and the billions of dollars at play?
We have to be realistic. Some people think that by the year 2030, we can be an all renewables economy. That's just not realistic. It's going to take everything. We're going to have to make investments in renewable technologies, in carbon capture, in technologies that we can't even imagine today that will help us address this. So I'm worried, but I'm also hopeful.
Can humans adapt to this?
Well, humans have got to adapt, otherwise I hate to think what the future is going to be like. These things drive at the fundamental core of human society and how we function as a species on the planet.
If nothing changes, then what?
It's going to be a very difficult world for our children to live in, and their children in particular. Maybe they'll get used to it. I really hope they're not used to the fact that their skies are constantly shrouded in smoke. But that's kind of the world that we're staring down the barrel of.
This world has already changed. It is unutterably altered. And that momentous shift will continue. There is what we do not know. And then there is what we come to know. And it's what we do next that makes the difference.